Ever wondered how Amish families harvest abundant vegetables year after year while modern gardeners watch their yields decline? No costly chemicals, no expensive tools, just proven techniques their ancestors developed centuries ago. Tonight, we uncover their 10 gardening secrets that modern agriculture forgot. Secret 1. Animal waste. While gardeners buy expensive plant food, Amish farmers use fresh animal droppings that contain 50% more nutrients than commercial fertilizers. One farm animal creates 18 tons of this natural plant food annually, completely free. Modern gardeners spend $400, -600 yearly on synthetic nutrients, but Amish families achieve superior results using organic waste that others consider worthless garbage. Secret 2. Field rotation. Amish growers follow a proven four-season cycle. Corn first year, legumes second year, vining plants third year, then soil rest. Each plant type conditions the earth for the following crop naturally. Corn depletes nutrients, legumes restore nutrients, vines aerate soil with extensive roots, and fallow periods rebuild soil life. This cycle eliminates plant diseases and maintains earth fertility for generations without artificial supplements. Secret 3. Lunar timing. They schedule planting based on lunar cycles, producing 15 to 20% larger harvests than random timing. Underground crops get sown during dark moon phases when gravitational forces pull moisture deeper, promoting downward root development. Surface crops get planted during brightening moon when seeds sprout 25% quicker. The identical forces moving ocean tides influence soil water content, establishing optimal growing conditions when synchronized with celestial patterns throughout each month. Secret 4. Rapid composting. Standard backyard compost heaps decompose slowly over 12 months or longer, while Amish compost systems transform organic waste into rich soil amendment within 3 to 4 months through precise heat management. Their method generates internal temperatures between 140 to 160 degrees, eliminating weed seeds, harmful bacteria, and plant diseases that survive in cooler decomposition. Temperature control requires exact ratios of 30 parts dried materials like leaves and straw to 1 part fresh materials like kitchen waste and grass clippings. These elevated temperatures break down tough plant fibers rapidly while sterilizing the mixture completely. Weekly turning adds oxygen that feeds heat-producing bacteria, maintaining optimal decomposition conditions. The finished product replaces $200 worth of commercial soil conditioners per cubic yard. This accelerated method eliminates pest problems since rodents and insects avoid the intense heat zones, keeping composting areas clean and odorless throughout the rapid transformation process. Secret 5. Heritage seeds. Commercial hybrid seeds promise impressive results but struggle in real-world conditions, while Amish families plant varieties their ancestors saved for 8 to 10 generations. These heritage seeds have naturally adapted to local soil and weather conditions through decades of selection. Plants unable to survive local climate disappeared long ago, leaving only varieties with proven drought tolerance, disease resistance, and soil compatibility. Seed preservation eliminates annual purchasing costs of $150 -300 for complete garden varieties. Single plants produce hundreds of seeds, supplying family gardens for years without additional expense. Heritage varieties consistently outperform store-bought alternatives, germinating faster and developing stronger root systems. Many Amish preserved vegetables offer flavors unavailable commercially, including tomato varieties not sold for over 50 years. Each generation saves seeds from best-performing plants, gradually creating varieties perfectly matched to specific growing locations. This continuous improvement develops plants so well adapted, they thrive in conditions that kill commercial varieties completely. Secret 6. Infrequent watering. Most gardeners water daily and create weak, surface-rooted plants, while Amish families irrigate just twice weekly and develop drought-resistant vegetables with extensive root system. Deep watering forces roots to grow downwards, searching for moisture, creating plants 40% more likely to survive hot weather compared to frequently watered alternatives. Gravity-fed irrigation systems conserve 60% more water than sprinkler setups. using elevated tanks to deliver water directly to plant roots through buried channels. Ground-level watering reduces plant diseases by 75% compared to overhead watering since wet leaves become breeding grounds for fungal infections. Early morning irrigation between 6-8 a.m. prevents 50% of water loss through evaporation. Soil moisture testing by hand at root depth determines actual watering needs rather than surface appearance. Simple rainwater collection systems gather hundreds of gallons from single storms, providing weeks of irrigation without using municipal water or well supplies. Secret 7. Group labor. Running large gardens alone feels overwhelming, but Amish communities transform massive tasks into manageable group activities that strengthen relationships while completing work efficiently. Coordinated planting days unite multiple families to accomplish major garden preparation in single weekends. Tasks requiring weeks for individual families finish in hours when 8 to 10 people collaborate. These events include careful planning with each family contributing specific tools, seeds, or expertise to collective efforts. Knowledge sharing prevents costly mistakes that destroy entire growing seasons. Community problem solving creates solutions no individual could develop independently. Collective preservation sessions produce 300 to 500 jars per family annually through coordinated canning and food processing. Large-scale preservation requires specialized equipment and knowledge that individual families might lack. Shared tool ownership reduces individual costs while improving everyone's access to quality equipment. Bulk seed purchases, coordinated equipment maintenance, and group planning multiply economic benefits across entire communities while creating gardens that thrive despite challenges overwhelming individual efforts. Secret 8. Plant partnerships. Chemical pesticides create garden battlefields where everything dies except the strongest pests, while Amish gardeners use strategic plant combinations that eliminate 85% of pest problems without harming beneficial insects. Marigolds throughout vegetable rows release natural chemicals repelling nematodes, aphids, and whiteflies while their roots kill harmful microscopic worms. Basil near tomatoes confuses and repels hornworms through aromatic oils, while improving tomato flavor significantly. Nasturtiums serve as decoy plants, attracting cucumber beetles and squash bugs away from valuable vegetables like biological magnets. Lightweight fabric row covers provide physical barriers against flying insects during critical seedling stages, allowing light and water through while blocking pests. Flower strips between vegetable rows provide nectar for beneficial predator insects like ladybugs and parasitic wasps that consume thousands of harmful pests throughout growing seasons. Companion planting creates complex ecosystems, confusing pest insects while supporting beneficial ones. Mixed plantings make it harder for specialized pests to locate preferred host plants, disrupting breeding cycles naturally. Secret 9. Season stretching. Unpredictable weather doesn't dictate Amish growing seasons since they use simple techniques extending harvest 6 to 8 weeks beyond natural limits. Cold frames constructed from salvaged windows and scrap lumber create mini greenhouses, protecting crops from frost while capturing solar heat. These angled boxes trap warm air during sunny days and release it slowly through cold nights, maintaining temperatures 15 to 20 degrees warmer than outside air. Construction costs under $30 using recycled materials while providing same protection as greenhouses costing hundreds. Succession planting ensures continuous harvests from early spring through late fall by planting small amounts every 2 weeks instead of entire crops simultaneously. This staggers maturity dates, providing fresh vegetables throughout growing seasons rather than overwhelming harvests, spoiling before use. Root cellars maintain optimal storage temperatures without electricity, preserving harvested vegetables for months. Indoor seedling cultivation gives warm season crops significant growing advantages, adding 4 to 6 weeks to productive seasons through early starting methods. Secret 10. Soil improvement. Modern gardens weaken annually through chemical fertilizers and heavy machinery, while Amish gardens become more fertile and productive each season through natural soil building. Annual soil testing reveals exact nutrient needs instead of guessing with generic fertilizers, allowing precise additions of only what soil lacks. Cover crops planted each fall work like green blankets feeding soil through winter months. Crimson clover, winter rye, and hairy vetch grow during cold seasons when gardens normally sit empty, capturing nitrogen and storing it in roots. No-till cultivation preserves beneficial soil organisms that conventional farming destroys through constant turning. Each tillage event kills millions of helpful bacteria, fungi, and earthworms essential for natural fertility. Organic matter content increases 2 to 3% annually using these methods, transforming poor soil into rich growing medium within few years. Earthworm populations explode in untilled, organically managed soil, with healthy soil containing up to 1 million earthworms per acre, producing valuable fertilizer daily. Secret 11. Harvest timing. Proper harvest timing maximizes vegetable nutrition, flavor, and storage life through careful observation of plant maturity indicators rather than calendar dates. Root vegetables pulled during waning moon phases store longer without spoiling because lower soil moisture creates denser, less watery produce that resists decay. Leafy greens harvested during full moon contain higher water content, making them crispier but requiring faster consumption before wilting. Morning harvest between dawn and 10 a.m. captures vegetables at peak moisture and nutrient content before afternoon heat stress depletes quality. Evening harvests often result in wilted, less flavorful produce that doesn't store well. Different vegetables require specific harvest techniques. Tomatoes picked slightly underripe continue ripening while maintaining better texture, while herbs harvested just before flowering contain maximum essential oils. Proper timing can increase nutritional value by 30% compared to random harvesting, ensuring families get maximum health benefits from their garden produce while extending storage periods naturally. Secret 12. Tool maintenance. Well-maintained tools last decades and work more efficiently than new equipment, saving money while improving garden productivity through proper care and sharpening techniques. Sharp hoes cut weeds cleanly at soil level, preventing regrowth that dull tools leave behind through tearing rather than cutting. Regular blade sharpening using simple files and whetstones maintains cutting edges that slice through soil and vegetation effortlessly. Clean tools prevent disease transmission between plants, with bleach solutions or alcohol wipes sterilizing cutting implements between different garden areas. Proper storage in dry locations prevents rust formation that weakens metal components and makes tools harder to use effectively. Handle maintenance includes sanding rough spots and applying linseed oil to prevent cracking and splintering that creates uncomfortable grips. Tool organization systems keep equipment easily accessible while protecting cutting edges from damage through contact with other metal objects. Annual tool inspection identifies worn parts requiring replacement before complete failure occurs during critical garden seasons. Quality hand tools properly maintained outperform power equipment while providing silent operation and complete user control over gardening tasks. Weather protection. Amish gardeners refuse to let unpredictable climate control their food production, implementing multiple strategies that maintain consistent harvests despite extreme weather conditions. Wind barriers constructed from tall crops like corn or sunflowers protect delicate vegetables from damaging gusts that can destroy entire plantings overnight. Strategic garden placement utilizes natural landscape features like hills, buildings, and tree lines to create microclimates with more favorable growing conditions. Mulching systems using organic materials like straw, leaves, and grass clippings regulate soil temperature and moisture while suppressing weeds naturally. Thick mulch layers insulate plant roots from temperature extremes while slowly decomposing to feed soil organisms. Portable shade structures made from lightweight materials protect heat-sensitive crops during extreme summer temperatures. These simple frames, covered with breathable fabric, reduce plant stress while maintaining adequate light for photosynthesis. Drainage systems prevent waterlogged soil during heavy rains that can kill plants through root rot. Raised planting areas and strategic ditching ensure excess water moves away from growing areas quickly. Pest management. Natural pest control methods eliminate harmful insects without destroying beneficial garden wildlife that supports healthy plant ecosystems. Hand-picking larger pests like caterpillars and beetles during daily garden inspections prevents small problems from becoming major infestations. Early morning and evening collection times catch pests when they're most active and visible. Beneficial insect habitat creation includes diverse flowering plants, providing nectar and shelter for predatory insects throughout growing seasons. Native wildflowers, herbs, and perennial plants establish permanent homes for ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps that consume garden pests continuously. Trap crops strategically placed around garden perimeters attract pests away from main vegetables, concentrating them in areas where removal becomes easier. Barriers like copper strips around plant bases prevent slug and snail damage without harmful chemicals. Diatomaceous earth applications create physical barriers against crawling insects while remaining safe for beneficial soil organisms. Regular crop inspection and immediate problem response prevent pest populations from reaching damaging levels through early intervention rather than reactive treatments. Water conservation. Efficient water management ensures abundant harvests, even during drought conditions, through simple conservation techniques that maximize every drop. Rainwater harvesting systems collect precipitation from roofs and other surfaces, storing it in barrels, tanks, and underground cisterns for use during dry periods. Simple collection methods can gather thousands of gallons annually from average-sized roofs, providing substantial irrigation reserves. Graywater recycling diverts washing machine and sink water to garden areas after filtering through constructed wetlands or simple sand filters. This recycled water contains nutrients beneficial for plants while reducing demand on fresh water supplies. Swales and berms direct surface runoff toward growing areas instead of allowing it to flow away unused. These earthworks capture water during storms and allow it to soak into soil gradually. Drought-resistant plant varieties require minimal supplemental watering once established, reducing overall water needs while maintaining productive harvests. Proper plant spacing and selection based on local rainfall patterns creates gardens that thrive on natural precipitation alone during normal weather years. Soil testing. Accurate soil analysis guides precise nutrient management that optimizes plant health while minimizing input costs through targeted amendments rather than generic fertilizing. Simple pH testing reveals soil acidity levels that affect nutrient availability, with most vegetables preferring slightly acidic to neutral conditions between 6.0 - 7.0 pH. Nutrient testing identifies specific deficiencies in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and trace elements, allowing exact corrections rather than wasteful over-application. Organic matter testing determines soil structure and water holding capacity, indicating needs for compost additions or cover crop planting. Soil compaction testing reveals areas requiring aeration or organic matter incorporation to improve root penetration and water infiltration. Seasonal testing tracks changes throughout growing years, showing improvement or decline trends that guide management decisions. Local agricultural extension services